Welcome back. It's your favorite food, the glizzy. If you notice, relish and mustard. That's all we need, baby, to make a delicious hot dog. 100% all beef, natural, no processed garbage. And today we're going to talk about crypto. Roll the intro. That's pretty cool. Yola!
Here's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Shin City Crypto. You said all natural, all beef. We know you ground up all kinds of nastiness in here. And the reality of it is, you know, I got no doubt in my mind you got the chicken, the pork, and the beef all mixed up in there. Because I've seen your diet, son. It ain't good. It ain't good at all. Nuh-uh.
Thank God we have Forrest today. Forrest! Forrest is dressed up as a hamburger. Just kidding. Forrest, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining us, bro. Where you had to pick a winner of today's costume contest. Who are you picking?
Look, I gotta go with Rob. I'm sorry.
Hey.
Really, bro? The glizzy.
Yeah, right. Man. Real, recognize real over here.
What is wrong with you? Please, for the love of God, tell me we're not doing the entire show with you talking like this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. We're excited to be here with you today on this beautiful Halloween. A life hack for all of you taking your kids trick-or-treating today. When someone knocks and you open the door and the kid says, trick or treat, pull out a deck of cards and show them your best magic trick. So, let's talk about... Get it? Trick or a treat? Treat is candy. Trick, show them a trick.
No, not comprehending this one.
You probably don't comprehend much there, dude.
No, definitely not. Not on that one.
Yeah, you and really go back to Virginia.
Talking about deck of cards. I'm not really.
Yeah, there's 52 cards in the deck. Thank you.
Hey, right.
Okay, let's start with Tom Lee. Talking about
Tommy Lee, the one from that dated Pamela.
No,
he got
No,
got action on that boat.
It's not that Tommy Lee. Please keep it PG. Thank you.
Tommy Lee?
Yeah, Tom
the,
Lee.
The drummer. He was the drummer from
it's Tom
Blink
Lee.
182.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's move on. Forrest, are you sure you want to stay here today? I know you got a family. You probably got a lot of important things going on. Are you sure you want to waste an hour here with us?
That is not Tommy Lee. Tom Lee. Hold on.
Let's do it.
Wrong picture.
Okay, now just be quiet for a second, please.
Lee. Drummer.
Okay, so guys, remember yesterday we talked about Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan Chase changing his tune on crypto. And well, this is Tom Lee, and well,
no, this is Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee here, the drummer. He dated Pamela. Big Pamela fan growing up. I know the man was into Bitcoin though.
He's not. Can we go back to the video? Okay, Gina, I need you to earn your wage today. And the way you're going to do that, okay, the way you're going to do that is you're going to monitor this guy next to me. Don't cut to his camera. Don't cut to his... This is cool stuff, man. Don't cut to his camera. What other channel's doing this, man? I don't know. Only us here at Sin City Crypto. That's how we work.
Right.
Name me better production quality. You can't. What was I saying? Tom Lee from Funstrat, not the drummer. Okay. I'm just gonna play the video, man. Just
$1 million invested in Ethereum 10 years ago would be worth $500 million today. So, as far as asset class performance, there is nothing even approaching the returns that have come from crypto. Yet, we know that major institutions actually dismiss crypto completely. We know a major bank CEO says that he still doesn't care about Bitcoin, even though his customers want to use blockchain.
So very interesting. And Tom Lee, you know, obviously talks about, hey, if you would have bought ETH here, it would be worth this much. Forrest, what do you think at this point right now, if we fast forward 8 years, what is that Ethereum buy that Tom Lee is referring to? Oh, 1 million would have turned into 500. What project right now can you, let's say, put $1,000 into and it turns into $500,000 in 8 years?
Ooh, in 8 years, that's such a long time horizon.
I guess
like that, I think.
I was trying to stay along the lines of the time frame Tom Lee gave for the Ethereum one. So yeah,
I think for something like that, you want to go like larger cap. Like 10 years ago, ETH was still a large cap. Like ETH was up there in terms of, it's not like ETH was some like rank 100 coin that like nobody had ever heard of. So I think you still want to go large cap, but I don't know if you're going to get like 500x returns over the next 8 years in like XRP or BNB or large caps. If I had to pick 2 alts right now that I like that I think are just not going to go away in terms of their use cases and have like very high potential, it's probably TAO and Virtual, just like the AI trade.
Let's go.
They've got phenomenal charts. But yeah, like I think if you're looking for like 500x, you got to go TAO or Virtual over the next couple of years. But if you're like, you want to play large caps, then I still kind of like XRP.
I can't tell you how excited I am, Forrest, to hear those 3 letters come out of your mouth, TAO. I've been a very big TAO bull for quite a while. And that thing was the highest gainer in the top 24 hours. You guys know it's my second largest portfolio holding, my number 1 altcoin holding. And so, I don't think I have any retort to that, Forrest. I think I agree with those 2. I'm trying to think, is there anything I would add to that? A 500x in 8 years, an Ethereum style run in 8 years. I might have to come back for my pick, but I would agree with those 2. Joe, any what's your pick here? What do you like?
I'm gonna go with been around for a while is Dash. I think is something, you look at Zcash. This thing is something back in the day I used to mess around with, and then it kind of faded. And so I'm just thinking like, what's going to stick around for a long time? And it's going to definitely be one of these antique coins, especially talking about ETH. So I'm going to have to go Dash. Now, if Zcash had the run, kind of like ZZ Top did, then Dash definitely going to come back around and get it some too. And that's where I'm just going to put my money at. Put my money where my bird is.
You say a top like ZZ Top?
What? ZZ Top. You already know it topped. That's right.
By the way, I keep calling you Joe, but I never asked your name. Is your name really Joe?
No, it's still Big Rob.
Oh, Big Rob.
Big Rob.
Fair enough.
Yeah, right. You know this outfit came with temporary tattoos, make it look kind of douchey for the arms. And then I realized that I already got those included. How you doing?
Wow. There he is. There's the inner Big Rob. Okay. So you think it's Dash, huh? Interesting. Very interesting, Dash. I'm surprised you picked Dash over Zcash. I think Zcash has probably a little more lore than Dash does. But I mean, if you're going privacy and you're going legacy coins, Dash kind of fits that mold. I don't know, man. I think I have to kind of stick with maybe Chainlink. But it's been one of the most underperformers. I realize it's underperformed, but I really don't care. So this is in my long-term portfolio. I don't look at it day to day unless I'm doing a show or a chart or something. So the only thing I'd probably throw in there that I feel fairly confident would be Chainlink. But yeah, guys, BitTensor, as long as those subnets keep growing, there's so many amazing things happening in the BitTensor ecosystem. And so those of you that are tuned in, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And guys, just remember, first ever halving is coming up in 40 days, guys. In 40 days, the first ever halving. And so I think that's part of why the market, the price is rallying. It's up 20% on the day. I know Rob made a lot of money on a swing trade that you literally entered on the bottom yesterday. I literally watched you do it.
Pulled the trigger on 390.
Yeah. And
390 on that TAO.
That's right. And then also Aerodrome is up as well. I know you made some money on that one as well.
I got in on that one at 95 cents too.
Yep. Okay. So let's talk about some steaks. Now, unfortunately, this restaurant does not serve glizzies. Not that I'm aware of. Steak and Shake announces the creation of a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Interesting. So this is the post. Steak and Shake is announcing the creation of a reserve. All payments received in Bitcoin will be placed in their reserve. They're donating 210 sats, which is like $1, from every Bitcoin meal we sell to Open Sats Initiative over the next 12 months. Make your Bitcoin steak burger a delicious bargain when you purchase and register with Fold app. So revenue total for all of Steak and Shake and all the restaurants is around $500 million. So about $500 million. It's not huge. It's not like a McDonald's or an In-N-Out. But $500 million is a lot of money. Now, the question then becomes, is this going to be valuable, right? Is this exciting at all? Because the only way they're buying the Bitcoin is they're not buying the Bitcoin. If you pay with Bitcoin, they're just not selling it. They're not converting it. They're just adding that to their strategic Bitcoin reserve. Forrest, any thoughts on this news here? I'll keep it kind of general. If you want to share any thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to come off as like, I don't know, it's kind of irrelevant. Like, it's cool. But in terms of like moving the price, these are the type of headlines that like maybe if this was like 2020 or 2021, like people would have been excited and like, you know, been talking about this. But I don't know. I think there's just larger players in the crypto space than Steak and Shake. It's cool. I support it. Love it. But I don't think it's going to like, you know, send Bitcoin much higher.
Yeah, I agree. I have a feeling that Rob here is going to take the opposite position. Rob, how massive is this deal? And could this send Bitcoin to $200,000?
Definitely not. Definitely not. I don't know why you think I'm so pro Steak and Shake. You know, if it was Bayou kind of food and Cajun Creole, I definitely would support that.
So you're from New Orleans now, huh?
No, I'm from the South. New Orleans is the gutter.
Wow.
This is
shout out to all the New Orleans.
Well, that's gutter.
Okay.
There's South, there's gutter, there's extra gutter, then there's pretentious South, and then there's those the Washington D.C. not really the South. They think they're better than us. They're really not.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about predictions markets. So Coinbase came out and announced they're doing a mentions market. Wow, interesting. A derivative of the actual like poly market. And so some people listened to what Brian Armstrong said and said he just committed securities fraud. So take a look. Brian Armstrong and Coinbase, they had their earnings call yesterday, and there was these mentions markets up on Polymarket and Kalshi where people could bet what words would Brian Armstrong or whoever's running point on the meeting, on the earnings call, what words would they say? Okay? And just take a listen to what Brian Armstrong did.
Yeah, I hope we answered your question on that. I was a little distracted because I was tracking the prediction market about what Coinbase will say on their next earnings call. And I just want to, add here the words Bitcoin, Ethereum, blockchain, staking, and Web3 to make sure we get those in before the end of the call. All right, well, we've taken all of our questions. That's it for today.
He forgot stablecoin and decentralized exchange. So thanks, Brian. You just screwed those people over. Is it? I don't know. To me, this is a clear sign of securities. I mean, I don't know. What do you think here, Guy?
It is comical, I guess, what he's doing, but I don't know. I feel like that is real money on the table. It is real. I don't know. I don't think that's smart, bro.
I agree. I think that's a terrible. That's why I said I think it's some sort of. I don't know, man.
I don't think he was up to no good. I think he was just trying to be funny. But I mean, you got people with money.
There was almost $100,000 on these in total across Polymarket and Kalshi. So about 80 grand from Kalshi, 4,000 on Polymarket. But guys, these are, just be careful, man. Just be very, very careful if you're in predictions markets with people or personal statistics for players or mentions markets, right? Very easily, if there was a mentions market for what Sin City Crypto would say today, what words, and there was 100 grand on the line, I could sit here and say, oh, well, the best odds are if I say pork. And I put 100 grand of my own money there, and I come on the show and I say pork. I just made, $300,000, $400,000. So just be careful if you're messing with these markets. Brian Armstrong literally just did exactly that. Forrest, do you think this is a bad look on Mr. Armstrong here?
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
What?
Probably it's going to get more people to tune into his earnings calls from now on, right, and bet on him. I don't know, like, what are you just supposed to not? I don't know. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with it if he didn't have money on it. Like, now, obviously, if he just bet yes on everything and then did it, and took money from it, sure. Or if he tipped off insiders, but if he was just being fun, I don't really have that big of a problem with it. I don't like the markets to begin with. I think it only makes sense to use prediction markets if you have insider info or serious edge, because I think they're pretty efficient at pricing these things in, and otherwise you're just gambling or you're losing to people who do have edge or insider info. So yeah, I just don't really see the point, but yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with it. This is a good example of why you probably shouldn't be using these markets.
Forrest, you brought up you always bring up such unique points. Stuff that I don't think about is getting people to tune into your earnings calls, building hype around your stock. Great point. I didn't even cross my mind. Okay. I want to give a big thank you, a big special Halloween thank you to our channel sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by Stake.us, the #1 social casino in the entire world. Stake! If you're watching, we hope you like our costumes. Hopefully it'll get people to sign up. There's a link in the description. You can download the app on your phone and play it on your phone. We're doing a poker tournament where we're giving away $250 of free stake cash. Poker, 9-handed. I'm going to create an invite, and it's going to be invite only. And so there's only 8 spots. That's it. Sign up, no entry, and you can win $250 for literally sitting around playing poker, having fun, and of course, getting bragging rights as well. Big thank you to Stake for bringing us today's show. Rob, heading into the weekend, usually we see volatility on the weekends, my friends. My friend, what are your thoughts on where the markets are going this weekend? Do you think, Bitcoin, you saw run up to 111 this morning, is now back down to, guess what, 109 again. So it's a kangaroo market. You think the kangaroo is going to continue to hop, or you think it's going to, get a jetpack on it and go to, you know what I'm saying?
I genuinely don't know what you're saying. Your jokes are something else this morning.
It's the hot dog. Are we going to see a breakout?
Yeah, I don't think you're a hot dog. I think you're a corn dog. All right, so
that was actually pretty good.
Anyways,
was that a joke on me being corny?
Yeah,
that was good.
Oh, you put it together.
That was really good.
Good job. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
But do you expect volatility? Do you think we're gonna see volatility over the weekend?
How about this?
Okay.
I think there's going to be volatility. I guess Saturday, tomorrow. So tonight, tomorrow. Why do I say that?
Why do you say that?
Well, think about it. What happened at the end of August? What happened at the end of September? Those days we had big swings in the price of Bitcoin. And so when I look at, hey, what did we see on the last day of the month for September? We saw Bitcoin go from 118, and the next day it was at can you pull up the Bitcoin chart, David?
Yep.
Just take a look at the last day of the month versus the first day of the month, last 2 months. You'll see that we had some really big price swings. Also, I think that the fact
yeah,
that...
Rob, and sorry not to cut you off, but today is the last day of the month.
That's what I mean, yeah. So...
And sorry, what
we had a disappointing...
What did you want on the Bitcoin chart? Sorry.
Just the last day of the month versus first day of the month for August going into September, September going into October.
Okay, give me a second. I'll find it.
And you'll see that at least those last 2 days have been really big, volatile days. We had some big price moves. I think that this month, because we were expecting a very strong end of, or a very strong October. Everyone is always saying on Twitter, October. The fact that we kind of mailed it this month in a bull market, and what was expected to be a very, very good, profitable October, I think we'll transition over till next month. And so I do think we have a delayed rally in this later stage bull market, or later stage of the year bull market run. I think it's still coming. Also, I think that the fact that the U.S. government was closed has a lot to do with the liquidity in the markets. And, you know, if you dry up the liquidity from all federal workers, all incentive programs, people just aren't spending quite as much money. I know it's not, we're not in some doomsday like, COVID scenario, everything's closed, but at the same time, you know, there is just less printing going on, right? If the federal government's closed, you're just not printing as much, right? We're running up debt, but we're not printing and satisfying the debt, and we're not satisfying creditors. We're not paying federal workers. We're not funding the programs that's funded by the U.S. government. And so that money eventually ends up in the hands of big companies or investors or into the banks, and that money does in some form go to the crypto markets and speculative markets. And
here you go, by the way.
I think that's what it is. So what do we got?
So this is end of August. This was the red candles, August 31st. And let me kind of zoom in. And Forrest, feel free to chime in as I'm kind of showing this, and Rob's kind of making his point. So this was a red candle. So from open on the red candle, we got about a 4% move in 4 days.
And then that kind of set off the month too. I mean, you see that. Yeah, and then at the end of the month, we kind of trailed off.
So this was a 10% rally, and then we saw a drawback. Now the big one here was September.
But the drawback ended right at the end of the month, and then you had another big run.
Well, not really. Yes, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and so for me, I'm just kind of pattern recognition.
This was a big rally. This was 12%.
And then what happened? It pulled back. And it looks like it's bottoming out at the end of the month. So for me, I think that, hey, going into next month, we'll probably see a large accumulation, or at least a surge in the price of Bitcoin, and then perhaps a sell-off. So maybe tomorrow morning we're at like 115 or something, or 117, or maybe it takes the course of those were over the course of a week or 2 weeks as well, from start to finish. So perhaps, Saturday we're at 113, perhaps Wednesday next week we're at 117, and maybe next weekend we're at 120 again.
So Moonvember.
And not to mention that we saw a very strong reversal. Bitcoin went all the way down to just about 105, shot up past 110 over the course of like 7 hours. And so I feel like the market has very strong conviction. It took a while for us to kind of drop down there, right? We traded down to 105 and a little bit more, a little slower, at least slower compared to the bounce. And so I feel like the momentum, it's trying to push Bitcoin's price up. Forrest, what do you think about the price of Bitcoin, perhaps going into the weekend or next month? You seeing any kind of correlation on these open to close end of month and beginning of month for Bitcoin? You think it might continue?
I have very little edge on the market at the moment outside of like a few charts that I really, really like. But as far as Bitcoin goes, to me, it's just an absolute chop fest. You can look at price going back. Essentially, we're at the same price we were in December of last year. $109,000. And fast forward to, the inauguration, we were at like 109, 110. And that's where we're at right now, with essentially no trend in between. We had some spill-offs with, some various fear-based events, the tariffs and like the bombing of Iran. And we had some pushes up that, all essentially got faded. So until we actually see Bitcoin start to build a trend, I don't feel comfortable calling a direction up or down. I think you can make a strong case for the market cycle being quote unquote over and us going into a bear market. I think you can make a really strong case for a blow off top, and those are about equal weighted for me. So until I see anything in particular that makes me want to like really, really lay a lot of risk into the market, then I'm kind of neutral, which is the boring answer. I know that's
what
the
the
boring
hell,
answer. Yeah. I wish I could be like, 100% blow off top. I think there's a good case to be made for it, but at this point, I'm just waiting patiently.
Yeah, I do call in a question even if we did get positive November and positive in December, I don't really subscribe to the blow off top idea for the end of the year. I think if you do get that, I think it'll come next year if you get it. Nothing has shown me that Bitcoin is going to go parabolic, and perhaps it's because the institutions have positions on it and they have to reallocate once they accrue a lot of profit in Bitcoin. It's very interesting you brought up the fact that we did hit 109 December of last year. You look at a chart at 107 is kind of,
that was on the way up though.
Yeah,
now it's on the way down.
But it just kind of it's just.
By the way, why'd you drop the accent? I liked it.
Which one?
Why'd you drop your? Come on, man.
So
can't keep it together for an hour.
So at 106. 106 here on this one. I think it candled up a little higher than that, but we're not really that far off of that, man. And you think about it, is that quote unquote a disappointing year? I mean, we did put in new all-time highs. We didn't like dump or anything. So I mean, I guess that's a positive, but I guess it's a little underwhelming.
It's subjective though, right?
Yeah.
If you are a Bitcoin investor that just DCAs and sticks it in a hardware wallet and forgets about it, it's been great.
Yeah,
it's been perfect.
I will say that on a 12-month basis. So if you go back to where we were at 12 months ago, we were at 60,000, and so I guess it's your time horizon. But
guys, we're talking about
if you would have asked me last December, hey, where will we be at in November? I would have easily said, hey, 180,000.
I want people to. We are very spoiled in this industry. I've caught a couple 100Xs. Forrest, you've done very well. Rob, you've done very well. Some of them came really fast. Some of them maybe was luck on timing on our end. I've had a few where I just got lucky on timing. I didn't know it was going to pop off. I just got lucky. And it happened fast. Others took a little while. We took some losses, but I think people just don't realize if you zoom out, if you talk to any normal person, and I say normal because we are not normal because we're in this space.
Nope.
We got to be a little crazy to be in the space, right? If you talk to the average person who's not in crypto and you sit there and tell them, man, Bitcoin has been so disappointing. Well, what did it do in the last year? Well, it was at 60,000 and it got to 120,000. You know what they're going to tell you? You're complaining about a 200% move in a year? What is wrong with you? Seriously, what is wrong with you? 200% in a year. Where are you going to find it? That's not a Ponzi scheme or a scam. Where? As deep and as liquid, as global, as secure as Bitcoin, you're not going to. So it's all subjective. It's all how you look at it. You can look at it over the last month and say, yeah, it's been terrible. You can look at your portfolio and say, yeah, it's been bad. Probably because we're in bad projects. I'm in a couple bad projects. I know you watching, you're probably in a few bad projects. Mm-hmm. But if we cut those bad ones and we amplify the good ones like we have been doing.
You know what I like to do? I like to go through my MetaMask wallet and then just scroll down like scrolled past the first 5 or 6 projects, or 5 or 6 tokens I hold. I like to just scroll down there and you're like, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah. I mean, I have them too.
Yeah.
I'm sure Forrest probably has them too. The point I'm trying to make, guys, is if you're not willing to adapt your investment theses and add new things to your portfolio and cut the ones that are not performing up to what you think they were going to perform, then yes, it's going to be disappointing. I've been making money. TAO, virtuals ecosystem plays. Dude, some of our people that have been watching.
TAO, BitTensor just crossed 490, dude. This thing is.
That's what I'm saying. And guys, and this is something that I've been pounding this desk at for 6 months. 6 months. It was chopping sideways. It was boring. Everyone's like, when's BitTensor going to go? When's BitTensor going to go? I'm like, dude, this is when you accumulate. You don't accumulate now. You don't accumulate when it's up 22% on a day. You accumulate when it was ping-ponging around for 3 months. So are you doing that? And if you're not, the only person you can blame is yourself. And trust me, I've been there.
I love to blame you for all my mistakes, though.
I know you do.
Yeah.
You like to blame everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Forrest, anything you want to add to my monologue?
Bitcoin good.
No, I think you covered it well.
Like, how often do you, Forrest?
I think there's, what's up?
Sorry, I was just going to ask a more pointed question. How often do you reevaluate your portfolio and cut things out of it, add things to it? Do you have a strategy that maybe people can listen and write down some notes?
I wish I had a more well-defined system. Probably would have saved me a lot of money. I just redefined my portfolio massively after just being kind of wrong on September and October being positive months for crypto. So I actually just went super cash heavy. Essentially made a ton of money on metals like gold and silver, was correct about that. And then, everything I made on metals went out the door on crypto, trying to long crypto. Even while stocks have been crushing, like Nvidia's all-time high, like the crypto's just been super dislocated with the rest of the market. Not entirely sure why, but that means I probably don't have an edge. So I went super cash heavy, and I'm very cash heavy until I see something that I really like. That being said, I really like TAO and Virtual right now. So I do have allocations to those. But outside of that, I think it's just like being honest with yourself about whether or not you have edge. Like, do you think that, the markets or the projects that you're in are really going to go up, and if they're not doing that, if they're not going up, why? And just, you got to kind of reassess. But super cash heavy at the moment. And then when I have more confidence in the market, I'll be happy to deploy.
Are you going now, Forrest? I'm going to ask you a little more personal question, so feel free to not answer if you don't want to. But that cash that's on the sideline, when you are confident that the market's going to turn around or go up, are you going to just increase your positions you already hold, or are you going to look to open new positions on projects you don't have any allocation to?
No, so the cash that I took out of the market is probably going into like 4% yield, boring stuff, just because it's kind of like cash that I want to just kind of keep on the side forever. Just kind of yielding as income. So that'll probably go into like super boring stuff. And then I'll just play with the smaller portion of cash that I've also set aside to redeploy, but it'll go into the stuff that I've got set aside to reallocate. That'll go into whatever I'm bullish on at the time. So for example, like right now, Virtual and TAO, the market's so choppy, I think you just have to hold spot on those or like very low leverage, but that's essentially what I'm doing. So like right now it's TAO, Virtual, and XRP.
Where do you think TAO? Sorry, I'll bring you in here in a second, Rob. Where do you think TAO can go, Forrest? I throw numbers out there, and people think I'm crazy. 3 to 5K, but I think you look at it like, whoa, it's an altcoin. But look at their tokenomics. It's modeled after Bitcoin. There's only 21 million. There's only like 9 million circulating. So it's not a lot of tokens. Where do you think TAO can go, Forrest? If you're objectively speaking.
Yeah. Do you mind if I pull up a chart?
Please.
Here?
Yeah. Please do.
So like one thing I think people need to do is they need to be like very open-minded to like just how high and how crazy things can get in this space. So let me grab this. This is actually what reminds me a lot of that's not even grabbing the entire move, the top. So this was like Solana last cycle, which I'm not saying that's what it's going to do, but let's go back over to TAO and reset the chart. So just give me just 1 second here and then get that on a logarithmic view. Okay. So the top one up there is TAO, and then you'll see the virtuals chart is just like basically just follows TAO and has been for a while. So there we go. Virtual on the bottom, TAO on top. These are in just like super long-term triangles, wedges, whatever you want to call them, with a couple deviations on either side. These are trying to break out from a very large pattern, and the targets for patterns like this end up being like super, super high when it's a very long, like kind of bleed off accumulation phase, and then you go to new all-time highs. So this actually reminds me of Solana at like $1 to $2 in this, kind of similar, wedge triangle pattern that it made. And keep in mind, I think this was like 200 days of just bleeding down in Solana's price. And this cycle seems to be moving a little bit slower than the last cycle with Solana. But obviously the AI trade is like Nvidia's at all-time highs. The AI trade in stocks is very much alive, and I don't think AI is going away anytime soon. And if we get any sort of crypto rotation, any sort of Bitcoin rotation whatsoever, I think you can see like the very obvious trade is AI. So like a pattern like this on Solana, this was like $1 to $2 Solana in here, and it ended up going like 130x, over 100x to $260. I'm not saying that's what Virtual's going to do, but even like measured moves on some of these breakouts, like on TAO here, get this out of the way. I mean, that's like $1,000 right off the bat on just a very conservative measured move off of this pattern. You could take a much less conservative measured move. And I mean, I think I pulled one target that was like around 1,700. And if things get kind of frothy, yeah, I could see 3 to 5K on some of this stuff. I mean, no one would have thought, right? Like the other thing is like that $1,000 to $1,700 target could just be like the first wave, right? And then it flags out. And then runs to the 3 to 5K. So it's not going to go to 3 to 5K in a straight line. I'll tell you that right now. And I know that's not what you were saying at all. Yeah. But this like that $1,000 target could just be the first wave here, and then 1,700, and then 3K, and then 5K. Totally possible on charts like this. Totally possible with narratives like this. I think people are just totally underestimating how much money is going into AI, and the fact that the agentic economy can be absolutely massive with the amount of AI agents that are being built and going to be made, and the fact that they all need to potentially be monetized and pay each other and transact with each other. And that's essentially what Virtual and TAO are building in a very simplified sense. They also have like really good tokenomics, really good distribution, both of them. And they have really good like liquidity pairs. Like basically all the AI agent tokens are paired with virtual liquidity, and all the BitTensor, like you got to buy the BitTensor subnets with TAO. So like the flywheel for these things is like very, very good. And I think they can go very, very high. So that's really like the only edge I feel like that I have in the market right now is being long those two charts. And I think you just have to be long spot because if you were long on leverage TAO, you got wiped out. You got absolutely, this thing went to $140. That was me. And you lost all your money. Yeah, I got liquidated as well in that liquidation cascade. It's unfortunate, but if you just held spot, you're sitting pretty at almost all-time highs on TAO. I think all-time highs were 700. Yep. But I mean, it's up there towards 500 now. And they just changed the subnet registration. Instead of locking your TAO, you have to burn the TAO. So, Forrest, you and I always say, we like virtuals because we believe in the team.
Look at what they're rolling out, man. I mean, guys, just certain things you don't need to overthink. Just look at the track record. Look at this. Butler perp trading on X, okay? You can now open and manage perpetual positions directly on X. No app, no interface. You just tag it. You can trade over 70 assets with up to 200x leverage on Bitcoin and ETH, 150 for all the other ones. Minimum size is $6. See something you like on your feed and you're feeling bullish or think it's overhyped and want to short it, tag the Butler. It executes it instantly and replies with your trade on X. I mean, Robin, what are your thoughts?
I think AI agents and trading just make a lot of sense. All right. You can just kind of give it parameters. And here's an example. Like even if you were outside of perps and you were just like, hey, I just want to spot buy and I want to buy at a certain range and then sell at a certain range. This is all something you can just easily type into, program into an AI agent just simply with a prompt. Be like, hey, you know what? I want to trade this channel, buy and sell in between here. Just accumulate. And then if you do that with perps.
Rob, imagine Forrest puts out a tweet showing a chart saying, hey guys, Virtuals Protocol just crossed a massive support level with volume. This is what the chart looks like. And you're like, oh, wow, okay. And you just directly on X, you tag Butler, say, hey, open a 5x leverage on this coin with this much money. Set my stop loss here.
Yeah.
Seconds.
And with the markets being as choppy as they are and us not, the kind of the show theme today was essentially like, hey, Bitcoin really had a disappointing month. It's, you could argue a disappointing year. I don't think that's the case, but you know what? We didn't get this giant green candle, this parabolic run, millionaires running around, everyone buying new Lambos. Like we didn't necessarily get that. Now, some people were very successful, but it was a lot fewer individuals than we have in bull market past. And so, where are people making money? Well, it's getting allocation to projects early or when things essentially when the market pulls back and you get a good entry position, or you trade. And I think that AI agents for trading make just so much sense. And who are the two projects that are focused on AI agents? Well, it's BitTensor and Virtuals. And so I'm not quite as bullish as maybe you two are on AI, but I do recognize that AI agents and trading, it makes way too much sense. And I mean, maybe that's all you need, right? I think that sometimes you don't need to corner every piece of a technology, right? Like Bitcoin was trying to be payments or whatever. At the end of the day, it just kind of settled in at store value. And you know what? Maybe you don't need to be used by every company and everyone. Maybe ChatGPT is fine for everyday user, but when it comes to finance and trading, maybe just like let's just focus on that. Or I don't know. I think that's kind of my takeaway. I'm not quite as sold on AI as super broad in crypto. I've pressed you, David, like, hey, what are the use cases? It seems to fall flat for my personal expectations. But what you can't ignore is trading. The ability to make money and to program your trading style into a bot to help you do exactly what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Forrest, any commentary on this one?
Yeah, I mean, they just continually ship. They're very competent and dedicated team. I've said it on the show many times. I've said it, elsewhere. I think they're the most competent team in all of crypto. I think they've launched stuff that's just kind of missed, and just not found product market fit. But they just will throw darts at the dartboard until they hit a bullseye. And they've done that from the very start. Yep. And they're just going to continue to do that and build in, the space that they see as having the most potential, which is AI. And I think they're just going to continually ship and build stuff until, something sticks.
And they've had a bunch of things stick. And what I like about them too is they're not afraid of like, hey, we missed it, we're pivoting. Great. Which is what a lot of people should do with their portfolios. We are done for the show today. We'd like to let you all go. Enjoy your Halloween. Go trick-or-treating. Careful. The treats.
Slow down out there. There's a lot of kids running around the streets.
Yeah. Are you going trick-or-treating? You look like an adult who would go trick-or-treating without kids. Is that true?
No, I'm the one that barters with the kids when they come by. I'm like, hey, man, what you got in that bag?
Wow.
I got Snickers over here. Like, give me 3 of those Reese's, and I'll give you 2 Snickers.
What is wrong with you?
Well, I like to come up on my own candy because I never give it all away, and then I just have nothing but like I got 70 Snickers and like 60 Almond Joys, which are disgusting, and then I'm trying to
wow, guys,
how to swap, and so
if you want to have fun trick or treating, go to Karen's house. Forrest, any parting words before I glizzy us out of here?
No, I just like stay nimble. I'm actually pretty bullish for the next, several months. I think it's just going to be very volatile, and that's what it's been for the last couple of months. I think that volatility is going to continue, and I think you're just going to have to hold spot in things that you have conviction in, and you kind of let it ride versus, with smaller sizing maybe then hyper leverage perpetuals and get liquidated. Unfortunately, I just think the order books are kind of thin right now. And other than that, I just want to see crypto finally, catch up to the rest of the market. We saw the gold run, we saw the silver run. Stocks, select stocks have done really, really well. And it's really just been crypto that's been kind of lagging behind. But hopefully that'll change in the next couple of months, and we'll have more clarity on upside for crypto.
Amen to that. Very well said, Forrest. Ricky Romero, we did not rug your super chat. I literally tagged you and said I'm indifferent. I don't plasma. I don't own any. I don't really know too much about it. I'm not interested. I'm good. So, all right, Gina. Roll the outro. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We appreciate all of you. Have a safe and fun Halloween. Don't go to Rob's house because he'll take all your candy. And we'll see you guys. Oh, trading show in 10 minutes. Come join me. Bye.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon, then to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.